I'll say this again. It's our defense. We have to correct our defense. It is definitely some of our young guys' fault. But it's also some of my fault, and some of Steph's fault, and some of Klay's fault. It's all of our fault. We're not defending at the level that it takes to win games.
As Draymond Green said in that clip, the Golden State Warriors defense is the #1 problem right now. Compared to last season where they were ranked first in defensive rating, they've plummeted to the 20th spot this season as they currently give away 114.7 points a ball game to their opponents. And this is not a good sign at all if they want to have another shot at the title this year. I mean, take a look here. In this sequence, JaMychal was caught napping here by the Lakers, and so they just simply went to LeBron with this backdoor play to finish this one with authority. And in this play, Desmond Bane just easily passed through the defenses of Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, and Steph Curry as if they were just practice cones on a layup drill. See, while their defense is their #1 concern right now as a unit, there are other areas that they need to improve on an individual level. And with that being said, let's start off by talking about the health of Steph Curry. Due to injuries, the pandemic, and load management, Curry hasn't played at least 70 games in a regular season since 2017. And so far, the chef has already missed 20 games this season and counting. More games played means more production. And if Steph manages to come back stronger on his recent injury, the Warriors can easily climb up the stack with a top 4 or even top 3 finish in the West. Durability and strength have always been the top concerns with regard to Steph's physical state this season. I mean, this is usually a gimme to Steph, but because of the wear and tear that he endured throughout the years, Steph doesn't have his usual lift whenever he attacks the rim. Now, if we're going to compare it to a healthy version of Steph, you can see that after putting on the sauce, he was still able to finish it even through contact. Anyways, next up, let's talk about Klay Thompson. And for Klay, the thing that he needs to improve this season is his shooting consistency. Coming off an ACL and Achilles injury, Klay is slowly getting back into game shape as he averaged 20.4 points last season while shooting 38.5% from 3. Though his percentage from downtown is quite decent, it's still quite below his standard, cause in his first 8 seasons, Klay averaged above 40% from the 3-point line. He has been one of the top guys when it comes to catch and shoot situations. However, it's a different tale if we're going to talk about his performance this season. I mean, after using the screen in this play, you can see that Klay is wide open right here. However, instead of splashing it, Klay uncharacteristically bricked this one really badly. Now, if we're going to compare it to a similar play during the 2017-18 season, where he shot 44% from 3, Klay can easily knock it down with such ease. The good thing though is that Klay's 3-point numbers are now at 40.8%, and if he gets it up around somewhere between 43 to 45%, then we can say that the old Klay Thompson is officially back in the building. Anyways, speaking of 3-point shooting, this is also the same area that Draymond Green needs to work on if they want another shot at the championship this season. We're pretty much aware that 3-point shooting has always been the biggest loophole in Draymond's game, and this Achilles heel of his has been hurting the Dubs' 3-point-centric offense big time. Back in their first championship season in 2015 to 2016, Draymond was averaging a career high of 38.8% from distance. And with that kind of shooting number, it was not a coincidence that he has also averaged 14 points a ball game while also shooting 49% from the field that year. Now, following their first championship, Draymond has disrobed his scoring mantle and instead focused on being the all-around glue guy for the Dubs. Now, during this transition phase, his 3-point numbers slowly dropped to below 30%, and he has since had trouble regaining his shooting stroke. I mean, Curry has set up Draymond beautifully in this play. The corner 3 is the easiest to make among all areas beyond the line. But despite this fact, Draymond was unable to knock this one down. Now, looking back some 7 years ago, you can see that Draymond's shot mechanic was a bit more fluid compared to today. Like, his posture was relaxed, and he jumps off forward, which was followed by a nice follow-through. So far this year, Draymond is averaging 33% from downtown, which is way higher than last season, and if he keeps this up, Draymond might actually become an X-factor in some games offensively, especially if he's able to hit some timely three-point baskets in the clutch. Anyways, let's now switch gears and talk about Jordan Poole. Without question, the meteoric rise of JP3 has been the biggest revelation for the Dubs in the last 2 seasons. From averaging just single digits in scoring back in his rookie year, JP3 has become a full-fledged bucket getter this year by averaging 20.7 points a ball game as the third option, or in most occasions, second option in the Warriors' offense. In just 3 years, JP3 has transformed into a high-volume, crafty scorer for the Dubs, which is truly remarkable. But if you take a closer look at his scoring numbers, you can observe that JP3 still has a lot of room left to improve in terms of his overall efficiency. As you can see, JP3 has never averaged beyond 45% from the field, and 40% from 3 in the 4 years he spent playing with the Dubs. As he takes on a larger role for the team, JP3 will definitely log in heavier minutes, and with this in mind, I would like to see him be included in the prestigious 50-40-90 club just like Steph when he did it back in the 2015-16 NBA season. Now, aside from this, JP3 also needs to improve his shot making, which I find pretty erratic and wild at times. See, here's JP3 isolated at the low post, and you can see that Josh Hart is already all over him. Now, instead of kicking it out, JP3 still managed to squeeze this one through, which eventually ends up in a bad shot for the Dubs. On top of this, JP3 is also averaging 3.3 turnovers this season, and this is something that he needs to take care of if he wants to become a legit and efficient playmaker/scorer. Anyways guys, let's now move on and talk about Andrew Wiggins and the areas of his game that need to be improved. In the last 2 seasons, Wiggins has emerged as the premier two-way player for the Dubs and has been one of the major components in the Warriors' Death Lineup 2.0. Now, while he's pretty versatile in terms of playing multiple positions, Wiggins needs to put on some more muscle and has to play tougher on the inside, especially since he's playing the 4 spot in their Death Lineup. Throughout his stay with the Dubs, Wiggins has never averaged beyond 5.2 rebounds a ball game. And if he wants to take the role of a power forward, he should grab more rebounds than that. And as I've said earlier, he needs to be tougher down low so that the opposing team would not take advantage of their small ball lineup whenever they exploit a mismatch. Anyways, the last guy that I want to talk about is Jonathan Kuminga. JK is the most promising player in the Dubs lineup right now, hands down. He has incredible physical tools paired with his ridiculous athleticism. And although we're already seeing glimpses of what he can do offensively, the other facet of his game that I want to see him develop is his defense. Standing at 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan, Kuminga has the potential to lock down any player from 1 through 5 with his length and reach. In addition to this, he can use his footwork and athletic ability to go toe-to-toe against a high leaper or a more explosive player than him. See, here's Zion going full speed at the rim. Obviously, JP3 has no chance of defending him in this play. So JK stepped up as a help defender and timed Zion perfectly to swat away his shot. JK has the potential to become a legit two-way player like Paul George or Kawhi with his frame and skills, and when that happens, the Warriors are going to be a tough team to beat since they already had Klay and Wiggins, who are both players that play really well on both ends of the floor.